Hey guys, am I back at all? Alright, okay, sorry about that. My internet just went red. No drop frames, just red. Alright. Rip. Anyway, really quickly, I'll finish off this kobold talk, and then I will answer, Sitarip. So yeah, we started off with these guys, ended up going, oh, let's go more draconic, oh, let's go that more like dog route that had hair on it, and then we finally mixed the two, and now we have this guy, which is like a combination. And I think this is probably one of the coolest, strongest kobold designs I've ever seen. Personally. And that's not just because I made it. Let's see. Don't want to derail the MMO discussion, but what tools do you use and why? Just curious. What tools do I use? Well, I use Photoshop. Every once in so often, I'll pick up a pen and paper, and I'll do some sketchbook drawings. My sketchbook drawings look abhorrent. They're terrible. However, they do get the base of the idea. Like, they're more like design scribbles than they are like actual illustrations. And so they look just god-awful. But they're actually what got all these races in where they are. I remember the deep gnomes right over here, they got their look from the sketchbook. I went, oh, that's it, that's right there. So it was actually very I'll have to dig up the first deep gnome sketch at some point. And then really quickly, I use Photoshop, of course. I use a tablet. I use a Wacom 22 HD. I have for almost over 10 years now. I got that. I spent the money on it like a long time ago when I was right out of high school, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this seriously, and that's what I did. And then I've dabbled in oils, and I went to university and did like charcoal drawings and all that stuff, and it was fine, but it's been mostly just Photoshop. And within Photoshop, you can talk a little about more of those details. I use like this brush right here is my go-to. And more recently, I've almost exclusively been using it, but I use this brush right here to, you can soften edges and stuff. Then let's see, there's a couple other brushes that I tend to use. Like, I use this guy for texturing. Then I use this guy to get a base color variation. Then I use this guy for adding noise, and there's a couple more, but that's the gist of it. Yeah, this. I use Mixer Brush sometimes. Gives a really cool look. But more recently, I guess I've been doing, for detail, I'm more Scribble. Doesn't feel very eloquent, but it gets what you want. And I used to hate scribbling. I used to think eloquence and adjusting every single brushstroke was the way to go. And that's true if you're looking at a painting, like an actual painting. But for digital, scribbles, especially when you're going for high realism, is insanely powerful, because you can take. Let me give you an example. So here's some scribbles, right? I'm just going scribble, 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 and that's good. And you can do this, and it has some power in real painting as well, where you can scribble, and then those scribbles end up representing something like really powerful. But if I do this, and then I touch up just a little bit with a higher value, here we go, and then I zoom out. Those don't read as scribbles, they read as texture on a hand. And so there's a little bit of that. Lots of, or not a little bit, a lot of scribbling. More recently, at least. So it's just about scribbling the right colors in the right places, and there's places for lost edges and all that stuff. Oh yes. So I use Blender, right? Like I use Photoshop for texturing as well, for texturing 3D models, as well as just texturing textures. But then I also use Blender for 3D models, and as first said, I did some block-ins for the early Telekier to like map out what it might look like, and that got sent off to Paytas or Harrison, however you want to, whatever you want to call him, and then he absolutely destroyed, did an amazing job on Telekier. It literally brought me to tears, like seeing the concept art that I did like nailed to such a degree, and then being able to also, because that was combined with, we just got goblins in for the first time, and it was my first time running through Telekier, and it was like all the pieces, all the concept art that I did was in there, it was so powerful. And then like night changed, and like it took the work that I had done and just expanded upon it. It was like, oh, it was so cool. It was unbelievably cool. Okay, hold on. Let me rethink about what's happening with this hand. So he's going like that. But yeah, so that's the tools, and that's a little bit of the game, and hopefully, consider if that answers your question, and then also hopefully, Nate Sade. Hopefully that that answers a little bit of what Monsters and Memories is. If you want to know more about the game, I highly suggest following and joining some of Sean streams, or A Loving Little Robot. He's more so the creator, and he's the, or not creator, the lead. Can ask him lots more questions that I can't answer, and then also I highly suggest heading out over to our YouTube. I think you can find the YouTube and everything through our website. Our website is getting a revamp here soon, so I'll be more proud to link it. Now I just want to finish this dwarf so I can go host Paytas. Can't rush the job though. Resist rushing the job. Beautiful. This is what I like. After all that talking, blah 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 blah, we have moments of just, you know, a little bit of a rest from my dumb voice. Did you ever finish what you were going to say about the lizard people? You're going through the races and we're on them, and the stream went down. Oh, if that's when the stream went down, no, the lizard people, just that we might get them in, but we also might not. They're on the list as like things that we absolutely must have, but not necessarily for launch. It's just a if you want to know more about the lizard people, just ask Zukin. Yeah, I would say it's a stretch goal, yeah. Or expansion content. There's been talk about it being an like that's where we go with our expansion stuff. Also, I just want to ask you. I don't think I've asked you. How have you been, Ginny? I haven't caught many of your streams recently. I've been on a completely sideways schedule. I don't know if I've seen you online much either. I don't know. It might just been the times and everything. How have you been? Sounds like a fucking million excuses. What that sounds like. From my side. Oh, I've been this and that, and you know, kids have been. And I'm on week 5 of working, a lot of overtime, so I've been kind of away from the internet in general. Overall good, just keeping busy. Got it. Yeah. Dude, overtime, man. Hold on. Let's take a look at this staff here. What can we do to make this more dwarf? Personally, I think these ridges don't belong here. Boom. Out. Take this. Throw it down around here. Get this. Something like so. Add a little line for the cloth. Get a little bit more subtle. Something I've been doing with the dwarven architecture and the dwarven shape language for their weapons and everything is I think that Lord of the Rings, as strong, as amazing as their concept art is and their visual identity for dwarves are, I think people have been just a little bit heavy-handed on the angles that they have, and I see dwarves as a, like, there's still like a warmness to them, and they can still, you know, and when I think of those edges, I don't think like warm, you know, and so there's a little bit of curves that still need to exist. And they can be really nice round curves, right? Like, they don't need to be like bubbly, but emphasized with some rights and left. It's like, that's why I have this little round curve here, right here, right? Let me open up some of the weapon concepts that I've done. So I think this would be the right one. Are these? Oh yeah, here we go. So here's some of the dwarven stuff that I ended up working towards. Right over here. Where you have that square, right? You have this square element. Then you also have this nice round element. Same thing here. Round. Just to chill out on all the hard angles that you get. Same with here. So it's a combination of like this sturdiness and then, you know, the still like a what's it called? Yeah, without being too like geometrical. Geometrical is not a word. What the fuck? Even the sword feels bulky and heavy. They're definitely swinging that and not stabbing. Yeah. And so there, yeah, there's just that little bit of both that I want. It might be just rounding off this like that instead. Also, this dwarf is almost done, which means I am almost done streaming. And we will start to raid Paytas. I might start that here soon. Actually, I think I'm going to start that right about now. Just wanted to say thank you everybody for joining as I still render some stuff out. I hope you guys enjoyed the painting of the dwarf male and female. Getting them all aligned and represented as we want them to be. I hope that everybody has a good day and oh, this finger! What the hell? I looked at the other screen and I just saw this and I was like, what is this doing? So anyway, that finger now slightly addressed. I'll probably paint in a little bit more. Anyway, thank you all for joining. I hope to see you guys again next stream, whenever that is. We're going to be raiding Paytas. How do I do that? Let's go channel. Oh, really? Addis. Do I have to do capitals? Alright, we're gonna start the raid. I don't know what has been playing music wise for the last however long, but we're gonna start the raid. Are you guys ready to raid? $17 viewers. I don't know, is that how much I have? Alright. Here we go.